Okay, so I think we're live. Let people just join in and then we'll start. So, hello guys, welcome to Co-Learning Launch YouTube channel. Uh, I'm excited, for this session because it's something which we are doing after a long time, and we always wanted to do this kind of collaboration and help niche sort of community, who are thinking or who want to pursue their higher degree in abroad and even in India as well. So. Let me start introducing about what is co-learning lodge in case if you don't know, and then we'll go about our collaboration in depth, and then definitely we'll start with the session, right? So I'll say hi in the chat if you are in, and then we'll just start. So co-learning launch is the tech community. Primarily right now it's a data science community, and we want to open source education, and we want to make sure that we are helping people in terms of learning, and we also wants to connect people, I'll say mentors, in the respective domain through our community building. And all these efforts needs to need to turn into some sort of a I'll say opportunity for those people who are looking for any sort of opportunity. It can be study, it can be job or anything, right? And overall we're trying to build an engaging community where we want to solve a couple of problems like learning, mentoring, career growth, that is jobs, and definitely networking, right? So community is all about networking. So that's what we want to get into that sort of community building as of now. And talking about very first session of our where we're talking about the overview of masters in data science. So we're happy to collaborate with Foreign Admit as one of our community partner, and we're looking forward to give a dedicated support to those sort of people who are want to pursue their masters in data science specifically, and in any country, I'll say, right? So this is our first session to kickstart our collaboration, and in our future we'll definitely come up with more such a I'll say community requested sessions on such a topics, and will definitely help best possible way to not just, I'll say, get them into good university, but after while they are studying, help them in terms of technical support, or even after they end up finishing the courses, we can help them in terms of job referrals and all, right? So anything that is required to get you going, or grow, make you grow, I'll say, that we'll try to help, right? So that's what all about our collaboration. Definitely we'll talk about more about foreign admits while we are talking, starting with the session. And I've also linked down all the speakers, hosts, every details to connect with us in the group description. And in case if you haven't joined our community, feel free to fill out the form, and we are happy to add you to into our private group, right? So the only reason we are taking the people after filling the form is just to we want to know what sort of people we have in the community, right? As we said, it's a niche community, and we wanted to keep it healthy and spam free as of now, right? So that's what our community is about. We always want to keep our sessions, or even community engaging, and that's what we are always trying for, right? So I would like to welcome Nikhil and Nitin to appear on the screen and introduce themselves, and then they can start the session, right? And in case if any questions that you guys have, feel free to comment it on the chat, and at the end we'll do a Q&A, and we'll answer all sorts of questions that we have, right? So welcome, Nikhil. uh, Probably you can introduce about yourself and about foreign admit.
So, hello everyone. I'm Nikhil Jain. I graduated from IIT BHU and then studied at Monash University and in IIT Bombay. And foreign admits is something that has been born 2 to 3 years before when I was studying in an international university, and I found out a lot of people who tend to go abroad doesn't get appropriate guidance, and then they kind of do a massive investments, in US, UK, and other countries, and then they kind of struggle with their career pathways. And the idea was to connect you with the mentors who have actually done the master's or PhD and can give you first-hand insights of how it feels like to study or to work in your dream destination. So Foreign Admits is a student mentorship platform. You can connect to a mentor of your choice on the platform and can get end-to-end support starting from profile evaluation, career guidance to admission assistance and scholarships. And we are very proud partners with Co-Learning Launch. We're helping, trying to help the students who are entering and trying to break into data science with our mentor support, and mentors like Nitin, who is going to introduce himself, are going to help students to understand about data science at foreign land, and how the industry mechanism and the university admission structures work in his university. So over to Nitin.
Hi, Nikhil. Thank you so much for having me on this platform, and I'm glad like I can help people to spread out my knowledge and experience, and it's great to have on this platform. So, hi, hello everyone. I am Nitin Vashisth. I've been here in Germany from last 3 years. I came here to do my master's in informatics. I studied in Technical University of Munich in 2017. I got the admission. And since then, I've been here in Germany, and now I've started working as a data architect in a medical startup company called Vilua Healthcare. And yes, right now it's a pretty much good experience till now. I have here, and now like you can say like it's good to be snowing here at this point of time. It's pretty white here. So yeah, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. So, as I said, we're gonna start the session to understand more about studies abroad and a little bit about your profile, your journey. So, before getting into all of this, let's get to understand a little bit about your background in India. What did you do, and what are the steps that you followed? And then we're gonna understand what triggered you to study abroad.
Okay. So I will just go through my process, like what made myself to do study abroad. So I did my bachelor's. I started my bachelor's in 2010, and I did my bachelor's in computer science. That's how like in India it's called, and Germany it's informatic. So I started in 2010. I studied over like 4 years, and I finished my bachelor's in 2014. And after that, I started working as a technological consultant for 3 years in Hewlett Packard Enterprise. So here I was working on like different on a different areas. Like so, speaking of which, like on a infrastructure domain, and then also working on a analytics and the engineering part. So being here, like I realized, okay, it was worth giving a shot to work on this environment. To why not to have like a greater knowledge? Why not to have a master's in this area so that like I can really improve my knowledge in this area and further can really help companies to build my career. So also while working in this environment, like I met a couple of people like who was already preparing for their masters in order to study in abroad. So there was everybody was like preparing for US, for Germany. Somebody was for UK, and I had to analyze, okay, like what made me to choose Germany? Why didn't I go for US, or why not for UK? But then like with my series of analysis, like I made myself to choose Germany, and then after that I started the process of going for my master's. And basically, like I would say, I started the process uh, in 2016. Though I already got an idea, okay, like I have to do master's in 2016, but I was kind of like pretty late in order to realize, okay, I have to also give GRE and IELTS, and that requires enormous amount of time in order to prepare for the exams. So that's the reason, like I kind of like delayed my application procedure for 1 year, and then after that, I actually like started everything on time in order to start the application for 2017. So I wrote my GRE, I wrote my IELTS, and then I also filled around like 5 applications for different universities for Germany, and out of which like I got 3 admits, and one of which was TUM. And why I chose TUM, because like it was definitely was the #1 university in Germany, so that's the reason like I chose to go with Technical University of Munich. And now yes, here I am. I did my master's in informatic. I finished everything in 2 years, and now I'm working with Vilua since last year here as a data architect.
Interesting. Okay. So let's get to understand a little bit. When we were choosing Germany, okay, TUM, uh,
Mhm.
lot of people usually look towards picking US or other English speaking country, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Why Germany was one of those first choices that you had?
Okay. So yes, so definitely like there was a confusion in my mind too, like why not to go for US and why not for UK? And the first reason, like what pushed me back is for US is I have to take like enormous amount of loan which I was not ready to take. So if I have to study for US, then I have to take at least around like 40 to 50 lakhs amount of loan, and I was like totally against it. I didn't want to really to take that much amount of loan on my head and study with that burden. So that's the reason, like the first reason was that in order to choose Germany. Another reason was like everybody knows that like the Trump was in place, who was making students' lives harder in terms of immigration and the further visas law. So there was like another reasons too. And when I chose to do my masters, I also kind of like made my mind because I didn't wanted to do master just for the namesake, because I wanted to do a quality master. So that's the reason I shortlisted around like 5 universities, which was like the top notch of the Germany, and I applied for that. And I decided like, okay, like if I get the admit in these universities, I'm gonna go for it. Otherwise, I just don't want to study just to immigrant to Germany. I didn't want to do master that way. I wanted to learn something in these university and then further switch into a job where I can apply my knowledge. So yeah, that's the reason like I decided to go to Germany. And why TUM? Because this is another one of the best Germany. I would say like it's the best university in the Germany. Apart from it, like I had shortlisted around the RWTH Aachen, which is also a really good university. And apart from that, Stuttgart, Dortmund, and there was one more, Hamburg, TUHH. So I applied in these universities, and I wouldn't say like yes, I was lucky. I would say like I got the admit in this TUM, and also I got the admit from RWTH Aachen too. And I decided to go with TUM because definitely it was one of the best, and that's why I went into this university.
Interesting. So let's understand a little bit about data science. You have a fair bit of understanding before you choose data science, right?
Yeah.
So what's your understanding towards the scope of data science in Germany? Was there a confusion that language could become a barrier, or how would you be able to pursue data science in Germany? How is the learning going along?
Okay. So data science in Germany, I would say it's right now it's really booming in the market at the point of time. You can expect like nowadays everybody does in the university like they everybody learn different programming languages, like speaking of which Python, R, and I think like I know many of them, like everybody wants to land in the data science field, but when it comes to quality, it that's what like distinguish between different person. And I would suggest like uh, if you choose to do data science in Germany, it kind of restricts you in terms of your technical knowledge. So what I meant with that is, if you choose to data science, you will be just master in statistics. You will be training some machine learning models. You will be writing some algorithm which is kind of like out of the box in some of the programming language. But when it comes to stand apart from other people, like who are in the same race as you are, you should actually also start to learn about, okay, like some of the data engineering skill. Because why it's important, because in an ideal world, you won't get your data in a really sorted format. It will be all messy, and that's the reason like you need to have some sort of data engineering skill in order to clean that. And after that, once you train your machine learning model, you should also know how to deploy it into production environment. And nowadays, if I see like most of the student like who is really after data science field, they just really focus you know onto the statistical part, like how to do the regression and all those things, just working onto the algorithmic part. They don't do the the pre and the post work. You should also focus that. And if you can really build the skill in yours, and this will definitely stand you apart from other students who are in the same race. And that's and if I see right now, like, and the scope in Germany, most of the companies, like, they're not just looking for statistic, they are also looking for people who can also manage with the data and also deploy them. So I would say, like, just add these two skills also in your, in your learning pathway, where you can add it and then stand apart from other students too.
Interesting. So, okay, so you definitely mentioned like about the pandemic and the transitions that's happening in the industry. So, what's your opinion around the post-pandemic situation which is happening in Germany and Europe for the international students? How's the admissions and how's the job segments are affected, and what are the ways that people can still go ahead? You know.
Yeah, sure. So right now, like, my opinion will be post-pandemic. I mean, like, technically, I wouldn't say like it is still the pandemic in Europe. It's definitely not, like, it's not as improved situation as India right now. You can say you have the another wave right now happening in Europe, and Germany right now is in strict lockdown, and everybody is at home. All the lectures at the university happening online, and even like the exams have been turned out to be happening online. Not all of them, but like some of them, most of them are happening online. So life has been, like, really changed since the pandemic. And regarding like the admission process, the admissions are like happening as usual. I mean, like, people are just filling the applications, and uh, I mean, like, in terms of application, nothing has been changed yet. There are like the same amount of student who, specifically, I can talk about my university where I studied in. It's the same amount of student who were applying in the last year. Is just the same. It's just like, uh, all of the examinations and the learning and the lectures are happening online. So uh, I would suggest, like, yes, do not bring your motivation down. Keep applying, because definitely at one point of time, this pandemic situation will go away, and all of us know that, like, the vaccines are in place. So hope soon that, like, okay, the situation is going to become better, and everything will get back to normal, and you can expect yourself to be in Germany and study in one of the most reputed universities in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. The vaccines are there, and that's one of the positive sign that we see
Yeah.
for the people who are coming in. Okay, so let's understand a little bit more towards the basics. Let's get back towards the student side. Currently, the students are building their profile, aiming to the top universities, and we all know Germany being one of the land which is famous for economic education, or I would say low cost education or subsidized education, right? It's
Yeah.
predominantly like free kind of an education that people usually portray, right? So
Yeah.
definitely there is a huge volume of applications that we understand, and there is would be good amount of rejection rates also for people who are applying. So what are your understanding towards a student who wants to build a profile in data science at an
Hmm.
undergraduate level? What are the
Hmm.
things that they can do which can help them to build a good profile so that they can land up into universities like TUM or RTWH and all?
Sure. Okay, so I can definitely give tips around TUM. How usually, like, the application shortlist, like, there is a different weightage for each level of task which you do in order to fill your applications. So starting with, first, I would say make your one of your programming language as the strongest point. So speaking of which, like, if you want to land up in one of data science or machine learning platform, it's really important to be really comfortable in Python programming language, because this is like one of the go-to language if you go in any company, and that will be asked for it. So make yourself familiar with one of the programming language. Secondly, when it comes to showcase your experience, definitely, like, when you're at undergraduate, you cannot have any level of professional experience, and this is what, like, really wonders most of the people. If you go for a job interview, they will expect you to have some sort of experience in that areas. and that's really not possible. So I would say like try to do some sort of project around data science field, and the best platform would be to try out some data set on the Kaggle, and try out and write some notebook around it, do some data visualization, try some algorithm, and try to, and obviously like if you try out different Kaggle, there are like many people who have done their work and have posted their notebook as their public. So I would say Kaggle is one of the best platform in order to get familiar your with your I would say your skills, and further sharpening it. You can do it on the Kaggle itself. So that's another one of the best platform to do it. Now, how you can you can make yourself stand apart in TUM is, so the first thing is like this the German universities consider your university marks a lot. So speaking of which, like if you happen to score around like 8.5 CGPA in your bachelor's, then you should have a smooth admission in TUM, considering you have all of the factors in place. I mean, like I have seen like some people like with around like 7.5 CGPA who are also in TUM, but like you need to have other areas really exceptional in order to surpass that level. So apart from it, like there is also another requirement called curriculum analysis, and this is where like you tell the university like, okay, these are the subjects I have studied in my bachelor's, and you should also say it like, okay, what kind of credit, how many credit this subject was for. So this way the university can analyze you, okay, this amount of effort you have put around this subjects, because when you go for a master, they expect you to have this those particular subjects knowledge in place. So speaking of which, you can say database system, and database system is always taught in bachelor. You cannot expect anybody to teach you in masters. So the university expects you to have knowledge in this database system, and you need to showcase in your curriculum analysis. So this is like another thing. You should fill it with really utmost attention. And apart from that, you need to have a really good motivation letter. So you should say it, okay, like what have you done if you are applying in that particular course, and how, and you can showcase around your life project which you have done it on Kaggle, and other project which you will be doing in your undergraduates. So I think that will be like the first way in order to build your profile in terms of data science. Uh, yeah, this is what I can say at this point of time.
Interesting. Yeah, I think projects definitely add a lot of value, and practicing on Kaggle could be a starting point for them.
Mhm.
Okay, let's understand a little bit towards because again, Germany is definitely a free education environment,
Mhm.
but then there are living costs, there are additional costs, and then I think the blocked account, and there are so many other things that we have towards the cost side of it, right? So, what are the things that we look at towards the cost side when we are planning to study abroad, and how did you manage those costs?
Sure, sure. Okay, so in terms of cost, there are like different many mandatory costs which you might have to pay when you're in Germany. So starting with like the house. So I can tell you about my experience, how it was. So first, when I landed up in Germany, I was not allowed at any dorms. So I landed up paying around like 500 euros for a shared apartment. And that's where like, your most of the money goes in out of your blocked account. So when I came in Germany, like it used to be 720 euros, and out of which I used to pay around 500 euros. So you are just left with 220. And around 100 euro is the health insurance. So you can't run away after from that. So you have to pay 100 euros for sure against your health insurance. After that, there is also another thing called Deutschland Radio. So what I mean with this is the radio services are also not free in Germany. So that is also another thing which you might have to pay mandatorily. And this costs you around 20 euros per month. So when it comes to add on. So it comes around 620 euros, which you have to pay for sure. And you must be prepared when you land in Germany. Apart from it, now you're left with 100 euros. So I used to spend my remaining month in 100 euros. And I think 100 euro is pretty enough if you cook everything at home. And if you are like, if you are like most of the time, if you go out and you are like mostly restaurant eater, then definitely you cannot manage your time in 100 euros. And that's when you need to have some extra money from your home. So how did I manage my options is when I was working after my bachelor's in India, I managed to save up some amount, and that amount helped me to carry my blocked account money in Germany. And at that point of time, it was around 8640 per year. So you have to show mandatorily 8640 per year, and that was in 2017. I think like it has been changed right now. I'm not sure how much it is. I think it's around 9,600 if I'm not wrong. But yeah, so it used to be 8,640 in 2017, and you have to show that you can't run away from that. So I saved up from my bachelor's job, and I came to Germany. The best thing about Germany, what it makes it different from other countries, is you can do part time, and part time is not really ordinary part time like talking about like US. You're not going to work in supermarket, or you're not going to work in a restaurant as a waiter, but you will be doing a really quality work here. So you will be working in a MNCs, or you can say like you'll be working along with different. You'll be working with different. You can say how you can be working with different startups, and the law in Germany says like you are allowed to work 20 hours per week in a month, in a week. Yeah, 20 hours per week. So this actually like helps you to take care of your monthly expenses. And on an average, a company pays you around 1,000 euro per month. And I think like it's more than enough for anybody to take care of their monthly expenses. So I think try to prepare for your blocked account, because that's how you're going to get your visa. But when you come to Germany, it's up to you when you want to start looking for the job. Because I've seen some students who take at least one semester of the time in order to get accustomed with the university, try to understand how it's happening, and then they start looking for the job after one semester. But like in my case, I started looking straight away. I didn't want to really spend my blocked account. I started looking for my part-time job, and then I got the job in a MNC called NetApp. It's a storage-based company, and that took care of my monthly expenses. So I would say it's up to you. If you feel like there's a lot of burden from the university in terms of assignment, then yes, definitely you can postpone for one semester. Otherwise, the wise decision is like if you have scarcity of money, then definitely go for it from the first month when you land up in Germany, because there are plenty amount of job in as a part-time. It's called VX student, and you can look for it. There are many companies who are looking for you. Just apply for them, and you will get the job much easier than the full-time job.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, so here we are coming almost to the end. So let's understand a little bit on the total cost structure. On an expected, how much is the per year cost that we can still look at, including, let's say, the blocked account, the visas, the overall first year cost? What is the expected amount are we looking at? If you can just help us.
Yeah, sure. So I can talk about like the 2017 case when I applied for it. So it was around 8640 euros, which you have to show it in your blocked account, and it turned out to be around 6.5 lakhs for me. And now it's pretty different because the euro rate is around 90 rupees. And when I did the blocked account, it was around 74 rupees. So you can clearly see the difference right now. And probably it would be around right now like the 7.5 lakhs per year. And the visa cost expected to be around 60 euros. So, but if you happen to have a job in Germany as soon as possible, then you don't have to worry about your blocked account. You can just leave it. You don't have to take money out of it. You can just have your salary account, which will be paid from your company, and it'll be much easier for you in order to manage your cost. But if you do not plan to take at all your extra the part time, then it will be like the double the amount per year. So it will be around, like, you can expect 15 lakhs for 2 years. But you can say most of the universities allows you to finish your masters in 4 semester. But what I have seen in Germany is most of the students take around like 5 semester on an average. So plus 6 months. So you can say like 20 lakhs overall you can expect to have as the living expense for the Germany. But I think like the part-time thing is like the plus point which you can have, because why I'm saying part-time is because it is one of the professional experience which adds up in your resume. Because if you are a bachelor graduate and you try to do your masters in Germany and you do not have any professional experience, this will give you the professional experience, because you'll be working directly with the company on a live thing, on a live projects, on a live problems. You'll be integrated with the team. You will have the professional experience. But if you consider like any other countries, you cannot have that level of IT experience in these areas. And there's a reason, like was the another reason why I took up Germany, why not USA. So you can add this point in that. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, that's very interesting. So let's understand the final things. Okay. When you look at these blocked account and all, is it necessary that someone needs to take a loan, or is it like how the loan option works? Like, how did you manage your blocked account cost? Because I think the blocked account is a pretty decent amount of money, right?
Yes, exactly. Like it's a good amount of money, and I mean, like, one cannot expect to have around 7.5 lakhs for the year. And in my case, like, I managed to save from my savings in my back after my bachelor's, because I worked for 3 years and I managed to save it from there. But I think like there are many banks who are ready to give the student loans. So I think like there should not be much of a problem in terms of loans getting it from the banks. And there are many other third party organization which helps you to have a loan for higher education and abroad. So but uh, I would say, like, it's just like some sort, in my case, how I consider it is some sort of security money, because anyway you're going to have a part-time job in Germany. So you just have to have some sort of security money in case you do not land up in a job. So yes, bank is another best option in order to get the student loan, or maybe you can get it from your parents or family or friend. I mean, it's just totally depends on a person, like on their comfortable level, like how their finances are. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, so the last thing before we, end up into the questions, what are the tips that you can probably give, or your experiences now from your current learning? If you're reflecting back at TUM, I wish I would have done these things. And students should also do these things, which they should not miss out. Any tips or any experiential things you want to share?
So you're asking me like before the application or after someone arrives to Germany?
Yeah, the overall journey when they're in bachelor's to
Hmm.
master's, the
Okay.
job. From your understanding, definitely we commit certain things which we don't know, and then
Yeah.
we kind of learn from it, and we help other people to not do
Yeah.
certain
Sure.
things.
Hmm.
So, what are your tips towards people who are trying to uh, study masters or
Hmm.
bachelor's, let's say, and then getting into the job in Germany?
Sure. Okay. So the number one thing which I would say is make your programming skills really strong, because this is the first thing which will help you to fetch a job in Germany. And you will be tested most of the time on your programming skills, even if you want to land up in data science, and data science does not require a lot of programming, but still people test you on the programming skills. So I would say, like, take any programming language and make best out of it. The next thing I would say, once you are in Germany, as my personal opinion is, take up a part-time job, because it helps you to really shape your resume, your curriculum vitae, and it helps you to also to know the German market. Like, okay, because you will be coming for the first time in Germany, and you do not know how German work culture is. So this will also give you a real good idea once you are in Germany, and once you are in Germany, and it will help you to it will help you to build your professional career in that perspective. Another thing would be once you are in Germany, you will be given a lot of assignments for the subjects. Take them with seriously because they are really good assignments, which I have seen, and this will also help you to in order to grasp the basics of the subjects, and also help you to uh, use them in the professional experience. Because what I've seen in Germany is the subjects or the courses which you study in Germany is most of the time related to the professional environment, and that's going to help you somehow. So take the assignments which you have it in Germany seriously, and this will help you in one way or another. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, let's switch to the questions right now. Okay, what are the questions we have? Yeah. Okay, so we have a bunch of questions. Okay, the first question is it necessary to learn German?
Okay. So it's not necessary, but it's the cherry on the cake, I would say. So it is important to have German because if you plan to do data science, and if you want to have a data science career in Germany, there are definitely many companies who look for people like who are English speaking, but around 75% of the companies are still bound to have German because they have German clients. They are working with the Austrian, where they're working with the Switzerland clients, and they speak German. So, like when you speak in their native language, then you can have some sort of real bonding with the customer, and that's how the German helps you in that way. So, what I've seen in Germany is most of the universities offer German courses, and that's what you can take it up. In my case, also like in TUM, I did my German till B1, and that's how like it helped me. Because and still I can say like I'm not like I'm a professional speaker, but it's definitely conversational. And so, for an example, like if you land up in a company where like there are many German people, then you can practice your German with those people while working on the job. And companies also helps you to offer say an example, like if you land up in a job, there are many other companies who are ready to pay for your German language certifications, but it will definitely help you in order to have German while you are studying, because if you want to get mixed in that 70% ratio, 75% ratio of the companies, then definitely the German language will help you to go for the extra edge. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question that we have is it okay? I think it's already answered. Is it necessary to join German before going? Let's see. Other question. So someone has asked about what is the fee for TUM? Is there any fees for TUM?
Uh, it's not definitely fees. There is no sort of tuition fees. It's something called student union fees, and that is around 140 euros per semester. Yes, and what this fees includes. So this has like your the dormitories, because there are many people like who works again the student union. They run your mensas. So mensa, what I mean with that is they the food services which you get in the universities. So they are pretty cheap, and there are people like who are working for that for that. So the amount which you pay for the university, it goes directly to them. So there is specifically like there is no tuition fees. It's just around like 140 euros which you have to pay in order to enroll in a semester for the for the university. And I'm talking specifically around TUM. There is no fees for TUM, but there are certain states who have started applying university fees. And speaking of which, there's a state called Baden-Württemberg. And in that, Stuttgart is one of the universities which I know who have applied university fees, and that is around like 1,500 euros per semester, which you have to pay. So yes, there are some states have started applying. So try to see that clearly when you look for the application and when you apply for that.
Absolutely. I think 1,500 is still pretty cheap if you're looking at an
Yeah,
education in Germany. And a lot of
exactly.
people don't know that they usually put a filter of free application, free admission, and they kind of miss out these universities in the filters. So, students, this is something is a new update. If you're looking for Germany, even you can look out for Warren Button and a couple of other universities which charges like 1,000 to 2,000 euros per semester, and that's absolutely fine, compared to the kind of education that you get. So
Yeah.
there's one question that we have from Yogesh. Do you see any gap in data science subjects at the university versus the job at data science companies in Germany?
Okay. So yes, there's definitely a gap. So when you talk about subjects in university, you start with the basics. Okay. So I can talk about like some of the small example which I can give is there are. So when you start learning about linear regression, there is no company who is going to explain you, okay, like what this linear regression is. You're gonna just start applying it. But when you are learning about the subject, you actually start to learn what is inside about linear regression. So that what makes a difference between the data science company and the data science subjects which you learn in at university. So definitely there's a gap, and it also depends on what kind of university you choose, because the university which I learned in TUM, that is most of the time is research oriented, and you'll end up learning a lot of maths around it. And and when if you're not in your research kind of job, if say for an example, there are many companies in Germany who works on a research, like BMW or DLR, and if you are not in any research job, then definitely you don't need that level of knowledge which you had in university. But if you're in a research job, then yes, because um, you have to discover something new by your own. And if you're not familiar with the basics, the maths behind it, then you cannot discover it, because in order to discover or find out something new, what's the problem behind it, you have to know the basics behind it, and it's really important to have that. So it's totally on a student or person who wants to have a career, what kind of career he wants to have. Either it's a research or just the applied science. So also look into the university. What kind of university are you applying it? Whether it's a research university or is it a applied science? Because applied science mostly focus on the job related aspects, where you will just land up in a job and start applying your algorithms. But when you are in a research based university, they kind of prepare you with respect to PhD, because so that you are able to do PhD um, with that level of knowledge. Yeah.
Interesting. So let's pick up another question. Does the company give weightage to certifications like TensorFlow and all while applying to jobs in Germany?
Yes, there is definitely a weightage, but I would say if you are able to show good amount of work on your projects, then I would say like this the certification is of no use, because like what happens most of the time is a company sends you a test in order to pass any job interviews, and this is where like you will be tested on. And I assume like doing a TensorFlow certification will cost you some amount, like say an example, 200 to 300 euros or dollars, whatever it is. And instead of wasting money in there, why not to do some projects around it? Why not to write an application around TensorFlow and showcase in that in the interview? Because definitely, yeah, it's a added value, but if you are able to do some sort of preparation or the projects around it, then this will definitely surpass the value of the certification.
Hmm. Okay. The other question that we have is, since there was there any point in your life at Germany where you faced what could be termed as racism? Okay, Okay. Was there any kind of discrimination or racism that you faced in Germany? And how soon did you settle to your daily life in, like, how easy is it to get settled and, mix around in Germany?
Okay. So this, I mean, like while coming into Germany, like I did not really face any because there are many refugees coming in Germany, and people are well settled with that because they know like there are many people who are coming from different countries and living in Germany, and now people are used to that. Maybe like you can expect somebody like with 80 years old or 90 years old person like to have this sort of mentality, but like the new young generation does not have this. And I would say like how long did it take in order to settle in Germany? I would say as soon as like I had my part-time job, it really took me on track because till then like I was struggling with my finances because I was living in a really costly apartment. And since when, as soon as like I got my part-time job, then I could really manage my expenses, and then like my daily life was like on a real track, I can say that.
Okay. Mm, okay. What is the ratio of enhanced salary and CTC in Germany? I heard the taxes are very high in Germany.
Yes,
What's the ratio? Sorry, ratio of enhanced salary versus
sure,
CTC?
sure. Yes, I can tell you that. So first, I would like to talk about like the taxes. Why the taxes in Germany are high. So if you compare US taxes and probably like Germany, I'm not like really sure about the US, but like in Germany, like there are really many benefits in Germany if you pay your taxes. Number one is the taxes which you're paying, you're getting your education for free, unless you're not going into a university where who have started applying some fees in their course structure. So number one is that. So your tax money is properly used by the government. You can see that, and it's being used by the university by not paying any sort of fees. Secondly, say for an example, like if you lose your job in Germany, you are liable to have unemployment salary from the government. So this is like one of the interesting thing which I see in Germany is, uh, say for an example, like if a company fires you and you are unemployed for like 6 to 1 year, then the government will pay you some around like 50 to 60% of the salary on which you lost your job. So that's that level of commitment you give when you pay your taxes, because and that's the reason like you can see like they have built really nice social system for this for the people who are living in Germany. So I think like there is no harm in paying that much tax if you're not getting something out of it. And if you plan to stay a long term, you can also expect to have schooling of your children in Germany completely cost free. You can expect them to study in the university completely free. Also, like the government kind of pays their parents if their children are getting educated in the university. They actually pay you extra if your student is getting graduated from the university. So there is like a lot of perks in living in Germany. And when it comes to social system, um, you are also like really you're also paying for the health insurance, which is a part of your taxes, because around like 10% of the salary like you pay as your health insurance. And if you are uh, if you are diagnosed with some sort of disease, then you can get your treatment for completely free and for like any number of years, because that's what you are paying for. And like you can expect like the worst disease like cancer like disease like get treated for free. So there are really good benefits, but yeah, that comes at a cost by paying the taxes. And what is the ratio of enhanced salary? It's around like 40 to 45% taxes. So if you are having a job of, say, for an example, 60,000 per year, then you can expect to have around 3,000 per year in your hand. Oh, sorry, month, 3,000 euro per month. And that also depends on certain experience level. So for an example, if you do not have any sort of prior work ex, then uh, then you will end up having a job of around like 48 to 55k. But if you have some sort of prior experience after your bachelor, if you have worked in some sort of MNCs like Cognizant or Wipro, then you can definitely negotiate for some extra salary to 60 to 65,000. So, and I know some people like who had graduated from TUM and are earning around like 82,000 as the salary in Munich. So it really depends on the person, like how well skilled he or she is, and it totally depends on the person regarding the salary.
Okay. Okay. So, what all data science communities to join? Have you been a part of any to the networks with to network with the relevant folks?
Okay, so regarding the data science community, like I did not really join any, but like I can say like I have a really good LinkedIn network with I'm most of the time I'm touch with, and this is the where I get my most of the knowledge out of from, because they are like really good pioneers in machine learning and in a data science community, and they are just posting their regular blogs, or say for example their recent finding or their recent startup if they are starting any. So this is where like I get myself updated most of the time. And another, I would say, like Kaggle is another platform where you can get most out of it, because there are many Kagglers who are participating in the competitions regularly, and they ask very different questions. So there are many thousands people who are on the Kaggle, and you can ask just your question and you will get your answer in no time. So there is also very active community on Kaggle where you can ask your question and get yourself sorted around it. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So, another question that we have here. Okay. So is GRE necessary for doing, this is another question that has been sent personally. Is GRE necessary for data science or computer science course in Germany?
No, it's not necessary. So it's totally depend what kind of universities are you targeting. So what I have seen in here in Germany is the the best universities in Germany, like TUM, RWTH, Aachen, Stuttgart. These universities do require GRE, but there are many other universities. For an example, like University of Magdeburg or University of Passau, or there are many more universities in Germany. And if you plan to do your masters in there, they just take student on IELTS basis. So it totally depends where you want to study, what kind of course you want to do, and if that university asks for it, then yes, you have to write the GRE.
Okay. Any final question? Okay. How to apply for funded PhD? Are the funded PhD possible in Germany? And if you have any pointers on this?
Yes, yes, definitely. Like the funded PhDs are really possible in Germany. I have seen like many students who have started their PhDs in the university, and also there are many institutes. So, for an example, Max Planck or Fraunhofer institutes, they also help you to have your PhD while you are associated with the university. So yes, there are many funded PhD happening in Germany, and yes, and it totally depends on also. And if you plan to do academic based PhD, then you have to write the particular professor in the university and get yourself a PhD from them. And if you can really showcase your skill to the professor, then yes, you can get your PhD. Otherwise, there's also another option called industrial PhD. And industrial PhD, which I mean with that is, there are many companies who offer PhDs, and they have a tie-up with the professor from the universities. And these companies are like Siemens, Bosch. Uh, so they are like the MNCs, you can say, like BMW. So these companies have a real good tie-up with the universities, because they are like a continuous sponsors for these universities, and also with the professors. And while you are working with these companies, you are also tied up with the professor in the university, and you can get yourself PhD here. The difference between, I would say, between the US and in Germany, on an average, the PhD in Germany is around 3 to 4 years, while in US is around like 5 to 6 years. So you can say like, okay, this is also another criteria you might consider if you plan to do your master's or PhD in US or Germany.
Okay. How to assess the job scenario in German post-pandemic?
Okay, so it's pretty tough right now. The job scenario in Germany, the post-pandemic is right now is pretty tough. What is happening here is most of the companies have stopped hiring. There are few companies who have continued their hiring process, but like there are many companies who have stopped their hiring, but they have forgot to remove their job description from their portal. So, for an example, like as a person, if someone wants to apply for that job company, they just apply for it, but in the end, they just get the rejection because they have closed that job position. So, this is one scenario what is happening in Germany. Another is there are many companies and many, so there are very few companies, but like there are many people who are looking for the job. So that's another reason, like why it is tough. Because, say, for an example, like if there is a job, one job position, there are around like 200 people who are applying for that. So the competition is really tough. So you have to really stand apart in terms of skill in order to get a job. Yeah, so this is like right now the Germany post pandemic. Another reason is there is a new thing. So I can add it in your tax, like why the taxes are high in Germany. While so what happened during what happened during the pandemic. While you are working in the companies are not allowed to fire you during the pandemic. And so what they do is they set you onto the Kurzarbeit. So what is this Kurzarbeit mean? Is it's a German word. So they put you in the short working time. So if you're working 100% time in the company, they say like, okay, you stop working. So from now on, you will stop working while you will have your employment, but you will be paid around 60% of the salary while you are on the employment. So you will not be working at all, but you will be paid 60%. And this 60% of the salary is coming from the government. So you can say like, okay, the company is ready to fire you, but they are not allowed to fire you because the government had said no. And that's the reason, like, government is paying you the 60% of the salary in order to keep their economy up. So so I would say like the job scenario is right now in Germany is pretty tough, but hang on and keep trying. That's what I can say.
Interesting. So I think coming to the end of it, okay. How did you carried out your research while choosing your university? What are the things that you looked for? Currently, in your opinion, which university is best to pursue masters in AI?
Okay.
General.
So there are like many questions in this. I can take one by one. So how did I carry my research is there are like many other websites who are offering pretty fine detailed research about and the comparison. So there is one called DAD. This is like the obvious one, which everybody will know. At my In 2017, it was DAD, and I think like right now, since then, there are many other companies who have started coming up, and there is one I think good enough is MS in Germany, which has shown a really good comparison between different universities. Uh, and uh, and during my time, like what I looked for is like I kind of first shortlisted the universities based on the rank. So what I meant with that is first I look for the companies who are in the top 10, and I decided uh, to do the master in these universities. So I look for their courses, what kind of courses are they offering, and after that I was looking for the most general course. What I meant with this is uh, they should me uh, they should be offering me the course where I can choose my subjects by myself. So for an example, like in India, what happens most of the time is if you're doing a bachelor's, then you are mandatorily to take that subject. So if you do not want to learn the computer networks, then you have to learn because it's in your curriculum. But I was looking for this courses like where I have the full liberty to choose the courses. So coming on to the point, like currently in your opinion, which is the best university? It really varies. So there is, I think, like there is no university at the point of time offering MS in artificial intelligence. You have to rather take up a general course like informatics, MS in informatics. In English, you can say like computer science. And while you are in informatics, you can look for the subjects which you want to learning. So while you want to while you are in informatics, you can look for like machine learning courses, like computer vision courses, and this will help you to do your majors in artificial intelligence. So this is what like many of my friends and myself have done it. So while we were learning MS in informatics, we had taken a lot of courses from machine learning, computer science, NLP, and this is what like helps you to make your masters as the major in artificial intelligence. So do not look for universities MS in artificial intelligence. Try to look for the universities which is like very generic and allow you to take subjects on your own. You should be really free enough to select your subjects. It should be like all selective. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we have a couple of questions. Is having any research experience required to do masters in Germany, or people, straight out of college can go?
No, they can. I know many people still like who are straight out of the college and are doing their masters in Germany. And but like definitely like if say an example, like if your profile is not so good enough in order to do master just after your bachelor's, the work experience kind of add extra value in your profile. So but there is no strict guideline in order to have any research experience or any work experience before the masters. You can just straight away apply after your bachelor's and get the masters done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the last question that we have is about cognitive. Yep, career opportunities in cognitive sciences. After doing masters in cognitive sciences, what are the kind of career opportunities one can look at?
Yes, there are like different courses in Germany regarding the cognitive sciences. In TUM, that particular course right now is being offered in German. And I know just about TUM where like this cognitive sciences course has been offered. But still, there is a way in order to pursue your knowledge in cognitive sciences by taking the informatic course again, because informatic course is something like it allows you to open doors in any direction. You can make your career as a cloud engineer. You can make your career as a data engineer. You can make your career as medical. Sorry, as your data science or machine learning engineer, and also like the cognitive science. So I would say like look for also the university like who allows you to choose subjects freely, where like you can just choose subjects specific to the cognitive sciences and helps you to do your major in that domain.
Interesting. Okay, so I think we come to the end of the session. First of all, thank you, thank you, audience, for coming on the session, and thank you, Nitish. So, yep. Any further questions that you guys have? I believe CLL has a community. You can probably post these questions, and we kind of try and get this questions answered by more and more speakers. So probably. The organizers can put up this URL into the chat or the comment section so that people can pick up the community and join it. And any last closing comments, Nitin, you have for the students who are in this post-pandemic, because I feel they really need a lot of motivation and planning. And you are in the current zone, where broad and lockdowns and everything is happening. So, any last closing motivation comments?
I would say like just so keep applying for the universities at this point of time, because what is happening in the German market right now is so the situation was really worse in May and June when the pandemic really hit the Germany, and since then like the situation has started improving since then. So I would say, but like in terms of admission in the foreign universities or the abroad, it has not really changed much. So keep applying in the universities, and by the time, say, for example, you get your admission in these universities, by the time probably like the pandemic will be gone, till like you started to look for the job. So apply for the universities, and just come to Germany, and then start looking for the job for your part time, so that like it will help you in terms of financially. And later point of time, like by, say an example, once you graduate by 2023, the pandemic will be gone, as I think like it's an assumption, but you never know. So keep your motivation up, hang on, keep working on your profile, and keep applying for the universities and the job. And good luck.
Thank you guys, and thank you Nitish, for coming on board. And let's stay in touch. And all of you guys, go and join the CLL community. You would have more discussions like this coming on board, and we keep doing more sessions with foreign admits and CLL together. Thank you, Nitish. Thank you for coming on this short notice. I really appreciate you taking your time and answering a bunch of questions for the
Yeah.
students.
Thank you so much. And you guys can stay in touch with me on LinkedIn. Definitely, like these guys will provide you my profile, so you can get in touch with me and you can talk to me about further questions. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You can find the speaker's LinkedIn URL in the comments in the YouTube. So definitely go to the comment section. We're gonna post a URL of all the speakers on the of the speaker's LinkedIn profile on the comment section in the YouTube. Thank you guys again. Once again, you guys have been amazing, and thank you, Nitish, for coming on board.
Thank you guys.